This is Lacy Robertson, the hardest working woman in mortgage and real estate nationwide, and I'm here to bring you this week's report of California companies that will be laying off, a significant amount of workforce, where we received and processed their notice between November 21st and November 25th. Now, before I ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel, let me let you know why I share this information. You're like, what does this have to do with mortgage and real estate? I don't get it. Well, many years ago, I was getting ready to purchase a piece of property. I was super excited. I was getting ready to get a piece of property. The seller was excited because they were going to get ready to get the proceeds from the sale of their property. I had signed my loan documents. And most if you've ever purchased property, once you sign your loan documents, there's no rescission period. So, but I had signed my loan documents. I go back to work and I find out hours later that myself and 399 other people were getting laid off that day. No warning, no nothing. You can only imagine how devastated I was, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm buying this house. Now I don't have a job. What am I going to do? I get on the phone. I call my mortgage broker at the time. I call my real estate broker at the time. I was like, look, you can't fund this loan. Y'all can't fund this loan. I don't have a job. Like, I don't have a job. So, anyways, thankfully, I was able to unravel the transaction, but I lost money in the process. Like, I didn't get my down payment back. I didn't get my money I paid for an appraisal, home inspection, all of that. I didn't get that money back. So there's two main reasons why I share this information. One, what would you do differently if there was a possibility that you might get laid off? Would you not go on that shopping spree? Would you not buy that new house or that new car or go on that lavish vacation? Like, what would you do differently? Would you dust off your resume and kind of update it and put some fillers out there to other employers in your industry? Would you start that new business or ramp up your side business? Would you write that new book? Like, what would you do differently if there was a possibility that you might get laid off? So that's one reason why I share the information. The second reason I share the information is I want you to know you don't have to lose your house just because you lost your job or you're facing a financial hardship. Like, I've literally been helping clients for years lower their mortgage payment, make it more affordable so they don't have to exhaust all their savings trying to make their mortgage payment each month. So that is the reason why I share California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce. I'm getting tongue tied here. This week. We've received and processed their notice between November 21st and November 25th. Now, I share with you the name of the company, the date they're laying off, how many they're laying off, and the address. I will give this information in alphabetical order. But before I give you this information, let me share with you what I was able to get one of my clients. Just one moment. Let me share with you so you can kind of see. So you can kind of see how I'm able to help clients that suffer a loss of income. Okay, so whether you've lost income due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, or layoff, I want you to know that there's options available for you. So hopefully you can see my screen. Right here, I had a client that had Chase Mortgage. Their previous mortgage payment was $2,334.71. That included principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. I was able to come in, lower their mortgage payment, and their new payment I've highlighted here is $1,749.53. That also includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. The one thing about this, I also was able to get them principal forgiveness of over $132,000. Totally written off, never to have to owe that amount of money again. So I share this information because I want you to know that you don't have to lose your house just because you lost your job. or you're facing a financial hardship. There are options available for you. They are not automatic. There's temporary options like a forbearance plan or a repayment plan, but there's more permanent options like a refinance, a loan modification. But just know there are options available. And if you say, you know what, Lacy, I don't need to hear your list this week. I'm already facing a financial hardship. You can visit me at modifymenow.com, or better yet, the best way to get a hold of me is just to call me. My number is 714-914-7254. Again, that's 714-914-7254. So let me get started on this list. Thankfully, it's not a long list. We only have actually 5 different companies that are laying off. They actually have a couple of the same companies have different locations, but there's only 5 different companies. So thankfully, it's not as much as it was like last week. We had several companies totally closing. So let's get started. So again, I'm going to give you this list in alphabetical order. And here we go. January 24th, Life Care Assurance Company is laying off permanently 50 people at 1 Oxnard Street, Suite 1500 in Woodland Hills. Then you have January 13th, Aurora Packaging Solutions, also known as Manufactured Packaging Products, is closing permanently. They're laying off 60 people at 3200 Enterprise Street in Brea. You have December 23rd, Paramount Global, laying off permanently 4 people at 1575 North Gower Street in Los Angeles. You have December 23rd, Paramount Global's laying off permanently 1 person at 5555 Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles. You have December 23rd, Paramount Global's laying off permanently 1 person at 2900 West Alameda Avenue in Burn Bay. January 24th, Universal Protection Service, also known as Allied Universal Security Services, is laying off permanently 61 people at 3440 East La Palma Avenue in Anaheim. You have January 24th, Universal Protection Service, also known as Allied Universal Security Services, is laying off permanently 66 people at 6640 Alton Parkway in Irvine. You have January 24th, Universal Protection Service, also known as Allied Universal Security Services, is laying off permanently 113 people at 9961 Sierra Avenue in Fontana. January 24th, Universal Protection Service, also known as Allied Universal Security Services, is laying off permanently 68 people at 2295 South Vineyard Avenue in Ontario. You have January 21st, Visa is laying off permanently 10 people at 300 Tony Stone Crossing in San Francisco. And last but not least, we have January 21st, Visa is laying off permanently 192 people at 900 Metro Center Boulevard in San Mateo, California. So that's the end of this week's list of California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce. Now, remember, if you are facing a hardship, whether it's due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, or layoff, there are options right in the middle. It's just going to go off and do its own thing. Right in the middle, it just goes off and does its own thing. So remember, that's this week's report of California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce. Now, where we received and processed their notice between November 21st and November 25th. Now, remember, if you've experienced a loss of income due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, or layoff, do not worry. Do not be dismayed. You don't have to lose your house just because you lost your job or you're facing a financial hardship. You're going to want to pick up the phone and dial 714-914-7254. Again, I've been helping clients for years save their home, avoid using all their savings, trying to make their mortgage payment each month, all of that good stuff. So I'm Lacy Robertson, the hardest working woman in mortgage and real estate nationwide. I look forward to working with you and for you. And until then, have a blessed day.